memories of your matches with Garea and Martel?
Classics. They were some of the best matches. Tony Garea and Rick Martel was probably two of the best people you could work with. And it was just unreal. I couldn't have asked for anybody better when I was in New York. For several months, it seemed like we had them more than anybody else.
Any one match that stands out?
Oh, Madison Square Garden matches always stand out, you know, and it's just like it's hard to say because all of them was just really, really good.
Were they your favorite team to wrestle against of all the teams you worked against? Would they have to be your favorite, you think?
Well, they would be in the top ratings. Some of the best wrestlers that I had was Martel and Garea, Eddie the Gilberts, Tommy Gilbert and Eddie Gilbert, and Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas.
Okay.
You know, the Killer Bees, worked with them a lot. Let's see. Oh, Wyndham and Rotunda. And
U.S. Express. Right?
Yeah. And they was very good. The Samoans was different now.
Right.
But still, you know, like the Moondog thing, we didn't have to stick to the scientific wrestling thing a lot.
You mentioned Madison Square Garden. What were your memories of wrestling in Madison Square Garden? How special was that?
I remember the first night I looked at the booking sheet in Mario Savoli. I started in Staten Island. And when I started in the territory, my first night was Staten Island, New York. And he gave me my bookings, and I looked, and it said, MSG. I said, what is this MSG? He just laughed. He said, Madison Square Garden. And I was like, oh, okay. And then to go into the garden the first time and walk through that curtain and look up at this big arena, it's just like, this is it.
20,000 strong.
Yeah. And then when you ask somebody what match I'm on, they say the last one. Huh? Yeah, it'll make you take a deep breath.
What was the party scene like back then? A lot of guys go out and party and.
Yeah, after some of the shows, but sometimes there was just so much traveling involved. You didn't have time. When the show was over, you'd go back to the hotel, have a couple of beers. You had an early flight, and that was it. The party in the territories that just like the Tampa territory, the Pensacola territory, Memphis. Everybody had their local bars that they liked to hang out at, and you got to where you knew the people, and you know, just say if you go into Memphis, you knew which bar to go to afterwards, right. And they'd be looking for you, and hey, here comes Jack and Jim Dalton, so and so. You know, hey, how y'all doing? Or when me and Larry was there, the Moondogs are here. Yeah. Hey, we know what they want to drink. Yeah. It was different, but when you're flying every day, you could stay in the bar and drink all night, but it wasn't a good idea.
How well did the locker room get along? Did everyone get along pretty well, or there were cliques, or?
Well, there's always cliques. Most everybody got along good. You had to, because everybody was pretty much in the same boat. Everybody's just trying to make a living. Everybody wanted to get on top. There's just so many spaces up there. You'd have to take what you can get sometime. You know.
What are your memories of Don Muraco?
Oh, Don, I remember him when he first come in New York. I'd met him actually years before that in Florida, and when he come into New York, I had just been finishing up starting the TV. I started in, I think in November, so it was early spring, I think, when he started in making TV tapes. He was right after, I think he would come in right after Slaughter did. Slaughter followed me, and then Muraco was the one that followed him. Killer Khan come in, and they were some odd ones, but that was pretty much the order.
It seems like you guys left right after you dropped the belts. Was it designed that way?
Yeah. Yeah, there was no use of staying around anymore, and I had already talked to the promoter in South Africa, And I was wanting to go to South Africa. I had a lot of good opportunities. Everything is just like, it seems like everything happens at one time and you don't know which way to go. You don't know which opportunity to take, or there's nothing that's happening. And I just wanted to go to South Africa. So I went to Johannesburg. I met Sailor White. He come in, I seen him on the plane when I was going, and he said, I had no problem going to South Africa, but they wouldn't let me come to the United States. But the plane he was on come to New York and then went on to Johannesburg. We had a Soul Island, Isle of the Soul or something like that. That we had a short layover for an hour or 2 hours, something like that, and then went on. But and then Larry come over after a while, so it was a good trip.
How come you think you didn't have a longer run? What do you think the reason was you didn't have a longer run with the belts?
It was just time to go. We had that problem with Ed White, and then that shortened it to a good extent. It would have been longer if he would have stayed there.
Right.
And it ended up costing a lot of money because we were supposed to went to Japan and wrestled Inoki, and I think it's Fujiwara. Anyway, I knew him from Georgia, and I said, God, this is going to be great, because he was a lightweight champion and Inoki was the heavyweight champion. And when things got switched around and I didn't have a partner, they showed up at Madison Square Garden, and things just didn't. It wasn't clicking.
How did you wind up back in Memphis?
My partner loved Memphis, Tennessee. And we was in Georgia, doing great in Georgia. And Bill Watts invited us to come down to Oklahoma. And I didn't like Oklahoma because the trips was just like really grueling. And Georgia was just getting to where it was, after being there for a while, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. And Larry was wanting, let's go to Memphis, let's go to Memphis, let's go to Memphis. So okay. So, and then we ended up doing record business there. Really, really good. And it turned out to be a good choice at that time.
Did you get pushed more coming off the WWF run?
Yeah, made a big difference. And also what made a big difference was J.J. Dillon was our manager in Georgia. And while we was in Puerto Rico before we got to Georgia, J.J. Dillon did a lot of promos for us, and he was really pushing the Moondog thing in Georgia. So we was off of that Channel 17 that was hot right in Memphis. So everywhere we went, Louisiana and Memphis was really good. And even North Carolina one time, we was up there, and everybody, hey, can y'all start? No, we're doing good right now.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.